Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. This is now part 2 of our stream, or our sort of presentation, really, for Distant Worlds 2. Of course, the reason I'm sort of really just doing this back-to-back and doing it as compressed as I can into the first part of, since the release of Return of the Shakturi, is the incredible deal that's on at the moment. So I sort of thought that if you are on the fence, again, I'll just sort of present that right from the start. There is actually some big deals going on. There was actually a comment that told me that if you buy the full bundle, you actually even get the latest DLC even cheaper than the 10% off. But the base game is now 60% off. The previous 2 DLCs are 40% off. So there's some good specials out there. Anyway, I thought I'd just sort of mention that. They're on Steam at the moment. Make use of them. If you've sort of been on the fence about the game, then yeah, make use of them. This will be another one of these ones where if you do have any questions, please sing out. I do get a lot of comments from people saying things, for example, like they haven't played it since launch and stuff like that. It really is an incredible game. And yesterday's stream was a lot of fun. We just let it go. We just let it play out for, 16 years, I think, in the end. We're up to 2771. We've played for 1 year where we've managed things, but we played for 16 years where the AI did everything for us up until that point. We're just trying to fix a few little things at this point in time. We're trying to take on the pirates. We've got a few little things. We've got like a constructor moving out to here to go out and build a research station, which will be very, very important that we get there before the Ikaru do. Not that there's much that I would do with that. That's interesting. The Ikaru, we can see there an invasion fleet with the Ikaru. They've got a couple of fleets there, a defense force there, which has got a strength of 630. Now, we're friendly with them, so it's not really a big problem, but it's just interesting to see what the AI does. So they're building up. They've got three infantry, 6 armor on that particular one, so fairly strong. It's fairly strong that they've actually got there. That's this, yeah, so they've only got the 2 fleets. Now, they may not have the same problem that we actually have with our pirates. We've got like a big pirate issue. There's a basin through here that we're going to have to try to clean out in this particular session at some point, and that will be very, very important. This one in through here, Eagle's Rest. This particular pirate group is very, very strong. And so this hasn't updated this one yet, but these guys are like very, very strong at this point in time. So we need to clean them out, and we're doing that with the use of our fleets. So if I go across to my military tab and then go to fleets, so I've got 2 fleets. We're building them up at the moment. So we've got the first defense force, and so you can see there we've got a lot of ships under construction. We'll wait for these to to finish their construction, then we'll go after them. We'll probably have to go in with at least these 2 fleets. This one's not too bad, actually. This one's been building up. That's not bad at all. Might have a quick look back at my military ships and just see if there's any that are not in fleets. Yeah, we have a few, actually. Our troop transports, escorts, and a frigate. I might put all of these into another fleet, and make 3 fleets. So we've got a few troop transports. I might put that into an invasion fleet as well. And we've got some fuel tankers as well. I'll just leave them out on their own. Yeah, we might just, we don't need to have, I tend to just put everything in fleets. So I'm going to grab the frigate and those 2 escorts. And we're just going to create a new fleet with these ships. This will be the 3rd fleet, and we'll do the same with the troop transports as well. So they're all going to ultimately be their own fleet as well. Create new fleet with these ships. There we are, the 4th, and I will actually rename this one to the invasion fleet. 4th invasion fleet. There we go. So that will then. And I'll just leave this just sort of floating around. They won't really matter that much. Home base is the Elasia spaceport, which is our home territory. Let's just go back to our fleets again. We'll just go through each one of them. Defense fleet is being built. I'll just make sure these are set to hotkeys. The 2nd fleet, hotkey number 2. the third fleet, hotkey number 3. And I won't build the third fleet up just yet. We'll sort of wait for that one to come. The other 2 fleets you can see have been set to manual. I will actually just change these a little bit. What we're going to do through here is just give them a fleet template. This is the only tooltip in the game that hasn't been fixed up, I don't think. But that is actually a tooltip in there. And so, sorry, that's not a tooltip. This is a troop transport. And so I can actually go to the invasion fleet. I'm going to edit this one and just get it so that we only have the 3 troop transports that we've already got and nothing else. So I'm just going to go and change that one to there. And with that one there, that will now be fine. The others are all set to defense fleets. And we'll just go through now each one of these. So the third fleet is going to be another, the fleet template we're going to be using is going to be defense fleet. And then if we go to the 4th group, the invasion fleet, control group number 4, this one will be set to invasion fleet. And that no longer has any ships that are required for that particular fleet. Okay. That should be okay, I think, with everything we've done. Yeah, top up, disband, that's all okay. Retrofit. I won't do this. Let's just let the game now play out a little bit longer. So it'll be building the different ships as they go through. It's a game that you can play up to 8 times speed, but it's not really, you miss so much when you do that. US score completed, that's fine. We'll just let everything sort of build itself up. It's the 3rd fleet back in through there. Yeah, these are all set with the spaceport as their home. So they're now just going to come back. Yeah, just load some memory. We just need to sort of keep track of where that one is. We have another constructor now coming back. So we've got all sorts of different problems with the pirates, and we will fix it up, but we need to get all of our fleets established first. So I'll just get rid of that one, get rid of that message as well. And that's interesting. We've got the general. Yeah, that's fine. The general is now joined in with the invasion fleet. That's fine. They took credits. So they're going to be coming back. You have to really hope that this thing gets there before these guys develop it. So they've got explorers and things back in through here. Haven't seen too much of them. Not sure if we've actually got our ambassador yet on their home world. Yep, there he is. Okay, this is cool. This is good. They're offering protection. We're going to decline that. As far as the pirates are concerned, this one is strong. The Evil Prowlers is very, very strong. We've got a lot of work to do to actually destroy them. Yeah, they've got no friends that we can see. Red Star Gangsters, we don't know anything at all about them, so they're really not a big problem. But we'll sort of make it our mission to destroy this particular pirate base. I'm sort of surprised that we haven't come up against more pirates at this point in time. I thought we would have found a fair few more. But it's been fairly peaceful. Hi Chris, how you going? And Deepfake. So ciao from Napoli, Italia. Yeah, welcome. I've only just woken up, so I'm going to be a little bit groggy for a little while. New mining station completed. That's fine. We're getting all the. We can change the way the messaging works. Turn things off. Yeah, I'll assign the mission here. Like the 2nd fleet. I'll just go back to the 2nd. They're now decked out and ready to go. That's good. So that's sort of, that one is ready. I'm going to combine some fleets when we go through. The third fleet, how's the first fleet is still building up, which is fine. Now it wants to, here we go, actually, this is interesting. It wants to build a world-found, a small colony ship, but there must be a reason for it. Yeah, so the Ikaru, we're wanting to give credits for. I'm going to offer that the gift. I'm just going to keep on doing that, just to keep them very positive. The fact that it wants to build a colony ship means that there must be a colony that we've found that is suitable for us. If we go into new colonies, sorry, yeah, in through here. Yeah, here we go. We found one across in here, Espadora. It's just inside the suitability range, so it's plus 23 for the Cormino. And yeah, that's a good idea. So we can build that one and then colonize. So we've just found this one, and this one we must be just on the cusp, I think. If I press the Shift key and click and drag, yeah, we've got 150 is the limits. So that's the limits of our colonization. That's a good one for us. So let's go and definitely do that one. So just going to go and build the ships. I didn't actually. Oh yes, it did. It did take on. That's fine. And so it will just automatically go off to start to do different things there. So we've still got this one coming in. Still got a long way to go out to get that other base. The distances, like we're just looking at a small portion of the galaxy, but the distances are big in this game, which is very cool. I'll just press Tab so I can sort of get slightly change the angle that we're looking at the actual screen. We're still really at the early part of this game. Oh, sorry, I'm going to pause. God, what was I thinking? I was thinking that ship's not moving. Here I am, just daydreaming along. Yeah, is there anything else we know about in here? Forest Moon. Yes, in this case, the suitability is, the forest moons are not exactly what we want, but it's a good one for us to have. They accepted the gift, that's good. Now, the reason we're sending them gifts is because we have set them as a befriend group. Like that's someone that we do want to befriend back in through here. Whose is that? Dayots. Okay, so this is a desert savanna moon. Inspired conniving is going on there. Actually, this is these Dayots. Yeah, they are Dayot population. It is got the star, so this is actually another group. So Pionus. That's going to be a problem for both of us, actually. So yeah, that's a completely different group that we've now found out about. But we haven't met them yet, so it doesn't come up in here yet. It's just slowly moving its way out. Getting a bit closer. Go to the third now and top up them with ships. Okay, we ran out of money, so we can't do too much else there. We'll just have to wait. So the third probably won't be something that we can make good use of. These are going in to fight at Hogar. Hi Logan, how you going? And Guy Bellaby saying nice to catch you live, thanks for that. Yeah, and Kurosami Logan saying I finally bought the game yesterday, haven't gotten to play it yet. Helldivers 2 Liberty Day at the moment. No, it's one of these games. I think that people almost fear the scope of what this game has. It's a bit like Dwarf Fortress. A lot of people actually love the idea of these sorts of games, but don't actually They procrastinate before they actually start playing, but they are incredibly good. And look, I was really happy I could do yesterday's stream, because that one, it did show that you really don't have to do anything at all to still actually have a fun time with the game, and like in terms of the actual gameplay, which I think was good fun. It's probably now, like after doing that yesterday, it's probably my favourite way of starting the game. And now we're into the full-on micromanagement aspect ourselves, but it's you don't have to play it that way. You can play it whichever way you like. What the hell did they just do? They bounced in. It doesn't make sense. Take a Gravelex. Hang on, something's gone a bit weird. Oh, they're out here. Okay, they've bounced in to attack this Gravelex, which is sort of on the periphery. It sort of seems strange seeing them bounce off on that angle. Normally the Gravelexes are around an actual, some sort of gravity well of an entity somewhere. Now these are our new design. So what we've done is, in the last one we actually redesigned our ships, and we just called them fairly mundane names. Like this one is an old design, and then this is old design as well, but this is a new design. The one just called Fast Escort. And these actually have the new shielding, like 340 shielding you can see through there as an escort. This one's got 2 shields, but they're the old shields, and they're not going to be as effective. But these have been set up to pretty much just be attack vessels, these fast escorts. Now we're hitting them fairly hard. So it's attacking us, but our shielding is incredibly strong. And so that fleet that we've got there, this is actually the rest of the fleet now coming back in. This is the second fleet. I can tell them, I'm going to go and tell them to go off and retrofit, so that'll just be the order just to go back and pick up the latest of the designs. That was good. Okay, it looks like there's fights going on in through here as well. Potential issues. Now this one in here. This was an old ship of ours that was captured. The new colony ship has been completed. It will now ask us if it wants to go and colonize that particular world, which we will want to do. Now we do want to stop this one from being able to operate. This is an old Ratlam design from back, like 10 years ago. The reactor is offline, so now we will be able to destroy this old ship. So this is a ship that was ours, that was actually captured by the pirates. And with the reactor offline, it can't do anything. Okay, so we've got Hi Garrett saying, yeah, I caught a live stream. There we go. How's the game going so far? Great. It's awesome, and like as in the actual game itself, it's in terms of our actual game that we're playing. It's been very interesting actually. We started off with just the AI ruling the roost for a long period of time, for like 16 years of gameplay, and now we've just taken over. We've raided our base, but failed to claim any loot. That's all fine. Now this one is still coming in. So that was good. We sort of destroyed one of our old, oh here we go, power, this is, while salvaging a power conduit in the coma system, we've made the following discovery. Accelerated projectiles. So now this will be a railgun that we've actually just got, so we'll dismiss that one. So with the different fleets, now we've got a little bit of money, but not a lot. The first is in a pretty good position. It's now just going in to do its retrofit. The second as well is retrofitting, so they'll all be coming back home just to do the retrofit. The third still has to be built up, but still also has to retrofit as well. I can tell it to retrofit at this point in time. We're just trying to get on top of everything. Even these require a retrofit, these troop transports, but I'm not going to worry about those. Okay, so we'll wait now. To take out this base, we're going to need all 3 of our defence fleets to go in a coordinated fashion. Yeah, this is an old heavy escort design. So we've redesigned all of the different designs last time. Now we were using, actually one thing I don't know if we have is the iron beam. I just wonder whether we shouldn't actually include that. Yeah, we do have iron weapons. We've got the iron cannon, size 12. I'm tempted to use that a little bit. I might wait until the next design that we do, and then we'll sort of figure out what to do there. Hi Matthew, how you going? Guy Bellaby is saying, have you actually noticed better AI behaviour with the strategy update and new DLC? Not specifically, but I know that it's there. I know that from from the beta testing and things like that, it now makes better use. I think particularly towards the actual mid game, where it can do different things. Yeah, Korosami saying, I really like how this game gets better, much better with every update. Yeah, it really is. The support is excellent, which is great. It's it's awesome the way that the game is developing actually, but we haven't played long enough to sort of see the differences with this one. But I do know that they now the AI now makes much better use of all the different targeting options, so they will bombard planets. Planets now are more difficult to actually take over without bombardment. You do need to soften them up. Hi Doomond, how you going? I'm just going to turn on my air conditioner. I'll be right back. We've gone into the red here with our cash flow, which is a bit of a problem. Guy Bellaby is saying it was interesting when Eric mentioned that they have nerfed the iron beam and assault ship strategy. Yes, yeah, it's sort of, I relied on that so heavily. But it's still useful, I think. And I'm saying, good dad took Dad out for breakfast. It's his 76th birthday. There we go. I hope it was good. It's only 2:30 a.m. here on Sunday morning. I've got a big day ahead of me down the beach, the whole day actually, which is going to be extremely tiring. I'm going to be absolutely stuffed at the end of the day. Now I've got a signed mission. Yeah, we'll assign that mission, so that's now the one that it wants to do. Dismiss. Yeah, so we need to clean these guys out, but we have to really wait until we've actually got... Now, this is no mission. So we've now actually have... Our first defence force can now start to individually take on ships, I think. So, have the clocks gone back there? Yeah, ours went... Like, in Australia, they went back some time ago, but I live in a state where we don't have daylight savings. So, so I know that it's changed in Europe, I think, or in Britain. Certainly, most of the timing that I have to do for Slytherin is using BST or whatever, the British time, and so that's, I think, happening this weekend. I think it's already happened actually. Anyway, there we go. Thank you, Lord Zon, for the super chat there. Very, very much appreciated. So let's celebrate their 10th super as a live stream. There we go. Yeah, so the change to night dance is Curry Muncher. There we are. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to now take this one out. One of the things I love about the change, like just little things like this. There's a ship there. We don't know much about it. There is the presence in this system that has got enough vision to tell that there is a ship on the way. An unknown ship at this point in time is essentially going to be a pirate ship. You can see that we've got like a pirate problem in around the different area. This one's going in back to Eagle's Nest to go and refuel. But they keep on coming in and raiding these mining stations and taking the goods from these. We've got cargo shuttles going back and forwards with goods from this particular mining station. But this little escort, this pirate escort, has just sort of bounced in. Now we're going to have to kill all of these ships pretty much before we can take out their main base. So that's one lot. Then we can see that there's actually a collection of pirate ships here. This is going to be a much more difficult prospect for us. We've got a constructor which is in absolute dire straits, trying to escape. Not going to be able to do it in reality. But this is going to be the hard. This is actually, even seeing this, the way the pirates have actually brought this fleet together, is actually really interesting. I've never seen the pirates do it like this before, where they've just got so many ships coming in together, which really makes it quite a challenge. Typically they would sort of almost drip feed you their fleets in little raiding parties, but this is like a full-on invasion fleet. Like if we go and have a look at this one through here, we can have a look at the 16 ships that are there. I just want to see what's made up of. We've got frigates, escorts, frigates, escort, frigate. I want to see the bigger ships and see what they've got. Where are we? Escort, destroyer there, destroyer, escort. So it's 3 destroyers. If we have a look at these ships in a bit more detail. So this one here, they've got plasma blasters. Now these are Boscaran ships. The difference between a pirate ship and a Boscaran ship is that these pirate ships will actually have rear-facing weapons. And so they do actually have some. They've got a good point defense up through there. They are mainly using Epsilon torpedoes rather than the Boscaran torpedoes, which is interesting. Now the torpedoes are weak against shielding, and this is going to be good for us because our shields are going to be so much stronger than theirs. And so this is actually a good thing for us to see. And then they've got the plasma blaster in through there as well. It's got armor bypass, but at this stage the blaster needs to have the shielding down. And so I think that we're actually in a pretty good position to go up against these. Like, it's going to be difficult, and we may have to sort of like bounce in, kill a ship or two, bounce out, and do that sort of, like, we're going to have to micromanage our way through this a little bit. So let's go in with just the first fleet, which is now ready to go. So it's refueled. Everything is where it needs to be. It's just set to a defensive role back in through here. But I think what we'll do is we'll actually come across. Now they're certainly just constantly raiding this system. So Garrett's saying, I thought Boscaran ships were all insect looking. They are from the Boscaran faction, but not from the pirate faction. The pirates use their own design, and all what's interesting about the way the pirates sort of do it is this particular group, just to do a bit of a deep dive into this one, if we go to diplomacy and then go to the pirate relations, you'll see that they're both Boscaran pirates, like the actual pirate raiders themselves. What they do is they then have the pirate ship design. Now, I'm sort of hoping at some point there will be a full-on pirate DLC added to the game where the pirates get really fleshed out and we see all sorts of different designs coming in. But at the moment, we only have like sort of like a basic hull for the pirates. But these are fairly functional in terms of what they've actually got. Like the little escorts have only got 2, but a Boscaran ship does not point backwards, but a pirate ship does. So they can make use of, like, the plasma blaster is at the front. In this case, they've got a sentinel beam at the back of this particular ship. The Boscaran, the actual Boscaran ships will always be pointing to the front, pretty much. They're very, very aggressive, but they're using Boscaran weaponry, and so it actually makes use of whatever faction you're up against. It does make use of what they actually have. So, so Garrett Rose is saying, I'm very excited for all the original races to eventually be added. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, playing as pirates in the original game was very fun, and such a different micro way to play instead of a macro game. Yeah, just even looking at what they've done with all these other DLCs, I'm thinking that it won't just be a Distant Worlds 1 approach. It'll be something much, much deeper, which will be great. It'll be really good, actually, I would imagine. I can't sort of say anything. I don't know anything at all. I don't even know if they're developing the anything to do with the pirates at this stage. But it will be a fun. When they do bring it in, it'll be great. Anyway, that's the. So these little ships are using Boscaran weaponry. These are more advanced than our ships, ship for ship, but we now have our bubble shields, which is going to do very well against their ships. I'm just going to bring the first in. The second is going back for repairs. The retrofitting's not actually that bad. I can't see anything that really requires repair. I might send both fleets in. The third fleet needs to keep on being built up, and we just don't have enough of this just yet. So the second, yeah, it should all be okay. I'm not sure. Look, there might just be the tail end of one of these. Let's send them both in. Where should we send them? Now, I haven't tested this enough to see what actually happens when we do come in. Now, we're not seeing any area of effect attacks, so I'm going to go and put all of my the formations to be tight in both fleets. Now, the one thing I want to just make doubly sure of is that when we actually have any ship in through here, I want it to be. Yeah, this is retreat when 20% of non-defense components are damaged. This is old stuff, and I'll need to override this to the new way that we want it to be, which is shields below 20% and armor below 50% will be when we start to retreat. I want them retreating earlier. So I'm going to go and click on that one. I'm then going to scroll down and say apply these tactical settings to all ships in this fleet. Bang, done. And so it's been applied to all the other 8 ships as well. This 2050. This is important that we do this because I really don't want to be losing ships at this point in time. I'll go back to the first, do the same thing in through here. Go to set tactics, and even though it says 2050 back in through there, I'm still going to apply those to all the other ships as well, just so that they all actually have it. If we go back to the first and grab one of the other ships, just double check. Yep, it's 2050. So this is actually exactly what we want for all of these different ships. This one just keeps on getting raided and raided all the time. This is actually a Caslon thing, so I'm going to go and bring the first in. Yeah, in terms of what we have, I'm going to just tell them to go and refuel, which means that they're going to have this as a target. So they'll come in together, like that's the first. The second, I'm going to do the same as well. Just refuel. So they will now move across from the main base. Let's just unpause, and then we'll watch the actual action. Now we'll micro this a little bit because I don't really want the pirates getting ahead. Like I don't want them to be able to destroy too much of what we have. We've got other ships now leaving. That's probably just that little escort. Actually, that is that. Oh God, this thing only just made it out of there. This is on auto. That was a very lucky escape, I've got to say. Extremely lucky. Like to be that far down and still make it away is great. Let's just see how we're going. Back out through here. Are we building what we need? Yes, we are. Great. We need those research stations. We can see if we found any others as well. Yep, so we are building this one down through this other side. Yep, so that one will come up. That one's being built at the moment. That one has been built. We've got all 3 scientists on there, which is a bit dangerous. We might manually change that around. Here comes the other 2 fleets now. Slowly making their way through. We've got slow jump drives on at this stage. You know, I might actually change that up a little bit and make sure that we get the next jump drive as well. Yeah, hyperdrive technology will then give us the Jerax hyperdrive, which will double the speed. These ones only have a hyperdrive speed of 200. This one goes up to 400. Pay the costs. We'll start to get through these fairly fast. Fairly soon. I might even do that now, actually get them above the planetary governance. Just so we can better protect what we've got. Once we get rid of these pirates, we're going to be in a much better position anyway. So they're taking ivory and things from these different bases. Looks like they've now sort of headed out across this way. Yeah, so their fleets are operating with impunity at the moment, and we have to change that. We have to be able to destroy some of these ships, bring their overall strength down a fair amount. Yeah, Diamond's saying indeed. I asked the dev. He said he does want to add that into Distant Worlds 2. Yeah, bringing the pirates into like the actual pirate DLC has been on the cards. I'm thinking that what would probably happen, just looking at the patterning, and I've got no inside information on this at all, so I don't know. But I'm assuming that what will happen is this will be the big major update for the game for quite some time, I would imagine. And the Pirates will be another major update when that does come. I would imagine that's probably a year away. I would think if I was betting. I'm thinking that probably what they'll do is then bring out some more of the minor factions, like or not they'll bring out DLC, I think, for those other factions, and also flesh out a few of the others. Now, what have we got through here? So we've actually now found the Pionist Autocracy have actually made contact with these. We encountered a new empire in the Paramulo system, the Pionist Autocracy. This empire is composed of Daots, okay, and they're going to, they're wary of us. They're going to be a problem, and so we'll dismiss that one. Daots just goes through who they are. These are bugs that have got like extremely good spies, so they're going to be essentially an issue, but they're a long way away. If we go back into our diplomacy and have a quick look and see what's going on. And so these are pleased with us, but we are rusting away here a little bit. We've given them gifts. I mean, things are positive with them, and we do want to befriend them. That's what we set up last time. Set this to manual and set that one to befriend. Now this one, the Pionist Autocracy, is likely to be a bit of an issue, ultimately. Now we can see what their relationship is. They're displeased at -15 with the Ikaru. And they certainly haven't made any friends with the pirates either. Okay, they're dealing with the Red Star Gangsters, which we're not. So I'm guessing the Red Star Gangsters are in here somewhere. But anyway, that's interesting. So they're actually in through that side. I don't think we've got any other ambassadors. You've only got the one. You've only got the one at Pamaleo 4. With the Ikaru, and that's where I'd prefer them to be at this stage. Right, let's continue on. So we've got these two fleets coming in. As I was saying, if this expansion does well, they might work on the next expansion sooner. I just think that what they'll end up doing is probably do like another two factions, and also flesh out maybe a couple of the other ones they haven't fleshed out properly yet. That's what I would assume that they would do. Now, why have we got military ships in there? Oh, no, we don't. It's theirs. Now, they've left this alone for now. Yeah, as it's saying, they will take a small break with 2 new factions and improve 2 more. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what will happen, and then eventually they'll then work on the next big one, I would guess. Now where's that one heading off to? Okay, we're going to come in right on top of this pirate, which is exactly what we want. Here we go. Now we've got. The overwhelming shield is actually is a long way ahead of the other ships. They'll be coming in fairly soon. This is a ship that we found, and so it's a bit stronger than our basic ships. This one here is just one of their frigates. So we've got a frigate versus a frigate initially, and so they're going straight into attack. Here they come. I'll just make doubly sure that all of these are going to be. They want to go and refuel, but we'll start the attack in through here. We're going to just change things up a little bit. Now again, just make sure that we're on normal. We want that to be tight. We want them to be able to support each other fairly stringently. it's also using Epsilon torpedoes, which is exactly what we've got as well. What we should see is that we should see there, like this one, this guy here has got like a lot of, he's got 2 Corvidian shields. The differences here is that they've got a 15% shield penetration chance. So we've got like a, what that would be about a 1 in 6 chance of really sort of getting through the, even a bit more than that, maybe 1 in sort of 7 to break through the shield. So eventually we will smash our way through. They've only got a 5% to get through ours. Sorry, just read a few more of the comments there. So hi Raven's Path, saying hi all. Did I miss much? Yesterday's stream was probably the one for the setup in terms of what's happening, but in terms of now taking over and playing, this stream is now going to be the one that we are really just getting into the nuts and bolts and doing a lot more micromanagement. But yesterday's stream was much more about automation. So depending on whether you watched yesterday's or not, will depend on where you sort of are up to. Yeah, the DLC ratings at 100% and doing great. Oh, that's fantastic. That's really, really cool. Diamond's saying some pirate ships talk different ship models, but yeah, doing that sort of stuff. There we are. So anyway, let's continue on. So with this ship here, shouldn't be able to last. It is a fleet frigate. We'll just watch ours. They're going to struggle against our superior shielding. Look how much theirs is now dropping fairly well. We haven't got through their shields yet. And they will try to jump fairly soon. Now it wants to go off and send the second fleet to prepare and attack Eagle's Rest. No. I'm going to decline that. Now it wants to also build more frigates. I'm going to, with that in mind, I'm going to decline that but go back to my third fleet and get them to top up with ships and just keep on sort of spending the money to try to get the third fleet established. Now the second fleet is still set as an attack role. I'm going to set these to manual now for both the second and the first. So the first and the second essentially are now going to be operating in the same location. So we have an extended period. This is the Dragon of Neurosis, so Neurastus. So let's go and they're trying to capture, which one? The Intrepid Victory. So with the second, I'm going to just tell them to attack this particular ship as well. We need to destroy as many of these pirate ships as we possibly can. So in we go. He's going to try to jump. Come on, guys. Disable it. Yeah, hyperdrive is offline. This is good. Reactor is offline, and this has now been destroyed. Here comes the friends. So that was a good start. We go back to the first. Nothing has been damaged, and I don't think we'll have much to do, like much problem with the shielding. The shielding on our ships, this one here has taken a bit of a damage, like the Terrible Hunter, with the shield coming down, but it really won't matter. This will be one of the fast escorts, which sort of go out ahead of the others, but they're not all that strong. Then we've got defensive escorts, which are there more to protect the fleets, and then we've got our frigates, which are very, very strong with the shielding. And so these are really going to be able to do all sorts of different things. This one's also, this particular ship we did find, as I said before, so it's sort of like a bit sort of different. Let's just go back to the first. What have we got? Have we got any destroyers? There's another fleet frigate. And what have we got in this one? Another fleet frigate there. And we've still got, this one is another fleet frigate. So there's a fair few of these coming in. This guy here is trying to jump away. Hopefully we can stop it. This is where it wouldn't be bad to have a ship with an ion beam. If you have a look at the actual what we've got on these ships, the ion beams are being shot out are the ones that look like the this beam in through here. I think I don't think it's their beam. Yeah, they've only got the their plasma blaster has been destroyed, and their sentinel multi-beam is offline at the moment. That's not really going to be that interesting to watch, but if we just go back to the first again, and we'll take this one on. We'll just watch what actually happens with these. Just going to hope yeah, hyperdrive offline, reactors offline. That's been destroyed. Okay, the second. I'm now moving away from my support a little bit here. Like they're not really working together anymore. But let's just send the second out to this one to attack the Sinister Defender. Now, when we give it an attack order like that, it means that those faster escorts will then move ahead of the rest of the ships. Like this one here is moving at, just have a quick look at these ones in through here. Speed of 80. This is a defensive escort. Its maximum speed is 55. But these ones here with the, this is 88. So these fast escorts, we've got two different types of escorts: the patrol escorts and the heavy escorts. These are sort of there to just sort of get ahead, but really in this case I'm going to micromanage this particular one and move it back out of the way. Just move it out to there, and that way it will then not get involved, which will then be helpful in terms of the it will come back in and help with the fleets fairly soon. That should be okay. Just make sure that that's all okay. This one here, we are smashing through it. It's now moved out, and it will then go back and join in fairly soon. This will give it a chance to get its shielding back up again. It's going to try to jump. Hyperdrive is offline, which is ideal. Not seeing any real damage done to any of our ships. The bubble shields are incredible. They really make a big difference. Now this one is out on its own again. It's still actually okay, but let's just go across now and attack this one. Let's have a quick look and see what's happening down this way. So we now actually have this other fleet frigate. This is great stuff. We're actually now moving with all of these different fleets. We're able to do damage, and we are doing enough damage to stop them from jumping. Great! Wow, actually that was like a critical failure. It was like that still had a fair bit of hull. I haven't seen that happen before in the game, where things just blow up so quickly like that. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure how that happened, to be honest. So that's the first time I've seen that. So as I was saying, my ships seem to damage everything on pirate ships except for the hyperdrive. Yeah, just got to make sure that they're strong enough. Let's send these back to refuel at this location. And the first are now going after this particular ship. It's trying to jump away. Catch it before it goes. Yeah, this is where some iron weaponry would actually be quite useful, just to try to dislodge them. Okay, this mining base is now starting to be able to recover. Get the first again, and we'll just get them to refuel here as well. Okay, we've got anything? There's no other pirate ships in the system, which we can sort of see down through here. A little tip as well. I think it's the M key. You can then cycle through, like all the different military ships inside a gravity well of a star. Is quite a nice one to just quickly go through all of the ships, all of the military ships back in through there. I think it's all military. Yeah, no, that's yeah, which is pretty good. So yeah, they'll be 20% hull and still jump away. Yeah, yeah. Well, it does happen. I mean, it does work back the other way as well. Like we've got this ship out through here, which is actually, this one's coming back in. That was the one I think that was damaged. But we've done well here at the start, so we'll now sort of watch and see what's the pirates. Yeah, we've actually taken about 500 power off them. But there's still a lot to go. And they hate us. Like they've got the negative 186 because we're now doing sort of doing the fight back. The third fleet. Let's go and build more ships if we can. So we'll eventually get this thing established as well. This is all working out pretty nicely now. So we're sort of getting on top of these pirates. I'm going to just wait for the for them to come back in, because they have been targeting this location. It may change. So the first is going back into refuel. The second has now got no mission. They've done everything that they needed to do. And their range, fleet engagement range, I'm going to make this one just same system. The first, I think, is same system. Yeah. That means that if there is something over here, they will go after it, which is good as well. Now, Nerastus, the pirate base here at Nerastus does actually have a long-range scanner, so they can see what's going on around the place. We could attack it and take it. That could be something we do. This one's now coming back after building that base. It looks like the others are here now. Too late. They've come in with all of their stuff to build a base, a research station right here. But we're already here. We're doing what we do. It's got hyperdrive research. Let's have a quick look at our scientists. If we go to science, this one is transferring across. This is fine. So I'll leave them to just do their thing. Here we go. Where is this one? In the coma system. Okay, this is back in our home system. Let's just go back in there and have a bit of a look. Oh, here they come. Here they come. And so this is actually our home system, which is... so they've actually bypassed and brought their big fleet in. We're not going to get there in time. But what we could do is actually take out their base now, if we wanted to, while they're so far away. If their ships are in here, it means no one's at home, and we're already halfway to their home. They can travel twice as fast as us. They'll probably get in just as we're getting there as well. Like by the time they finish in there, we won't be able to really deal with that. Maybe we do it. Let's just give it a go. When we attack this, they're going to spawn a big cruiser, and we have to try to destroy that as well. What's that one there? That's the 4th invasion fleet. Got no mission. It's sort of back out through here. I'm going to set that one out into this location, and it will go in with both the fleets. So let's do a full-on attack on this particular base. So attack for the first and also for the second. Just while their fleet is so far away from home, I was hoping to destroy their fleet, but if we can destroy their base, the pirates will then all go and join someone else, but it'll stop them from doing anything else as well. Like it'll actually, at least they won't be close to us. Yeah, they've already done the raid. And what we should do is actually watch and see where they go. Try to get a picture of where they're actually heading off to. They're going back to Eagle's Rest. They're going to get there at about the same time as us. Yeah, some of them are taking other targets. Yep, that's going back for refueling. So they're heading back home. This probably isn't a good idea, actually, in that case, because they're going to get there twice as fast as us. We're not going to have them done by the time they get there. You know, I think I'm going to stay back. I've decided to not risk this. Let's get the third fleet is still just floating around at the home base, which is fine. They're actually going after... looks like they're going off to try to attack these. These aren't ready yet. We don't have enough money for that one. I'm just going to change these from the fleet engagement range to just the same location of where they are. It's just that they don't move off. We just double check that these are set to, yeah, we need to change these to 2050s and all ships in the fleet. Okay, so this is the third. I'm just going to keep them back in through here. Just get them to refuel, and that way they'll just stay where they actually are. Yeah, we don't want to sort of jig those around too much. Yeah, so they're going to come in just as we're doing the attack, which is not really what we want. So the first, we'll actually go back and just tell them to refuel from here. The second as well. So that will then stop the attack before it goes in. Yeah, we're not ready yet. So let's not attack. So the inner Frenchman coming out and down says Curry Muncher. No, it's not. Now is not the time. We need to destroy part of their fleet before we can do that effectively. But if I can capture the base, it would be handy to have a long-range scanner in this region of space. Yeah, so we're still exploring around the place. So I might just have a quick look and see if there's any others. No, we still haven't got anything else. We've just got our two bases now, which are sort of going to help a lot with this. Yeah, so it's shaving a lot of time off the research time now. Can we do anything else? We've got contact, which we don't really want. We won't even see them coming past. They'll just be going straight through to Nerastus. What difficulty is this? It's hard, I think. I think it's no, sorry. The difficulty itself is normal. We've set it up with some enemies nearby. So we're starting off with a couple of enemies. We haven't come across them really. The Dayouts may be one of them. And we've set up a few other little things to make life more difficult for us. But yeah, so it's sort of the difficulty setting itself, which affects your incomes and things like that. I've left that on normal. I prefer to play it that way. It's sort of rather than actually making it so that you really struggle with your planets. I prefer to actually have a challenge with the with what's around you in space. Yeah, Dayout AI is nasty. Yes. There we go, we've got our new colony, so in the Espidara system. Now this is going to drain our money as well. Actually, while we've got money, let's just go back to the third and top up with more ships. And so we now actually have another colony, which is just starting out at this point in time. So we'll just let that do its own thing for a little while. I won't worry too much about anything to do with that at all. That over to there. It's mainly this boarding assault strength is what I want. Yeah, as I was saying, every damn time they declare war and attack 5 places at once. Yes, the AI is pretty good actually at what it can do across the board, really. Treasure recovered. That's good. So we're finding things in the from those destroyed pirate ships. I don't think anyone's paying them money, so that it's pretty amazing that they're so strong, these pirates. Now we have a good presence back at home, and with that in mind, why is these out through here? Oh, these were damaged. Hang on, what's this one? This is not part of a fleet. Oh, hang on, that's third fleet. Oh, that's all. These are all both third fleet. That's okay. Yeah, these were damaged in the fights. Okay, build. Yes, we'll do that one. So there's more attacks going in potentially. Yeah, there is. Okay, they're back in here again. Ah, that's why. That's why the third left. At least we've got them set to run early. It'll be very hard for them to do much against this. These come out without shielding, which makes them very susceptible to the attacks in through here. Get out of there. Okay, we're okay there. Yeah, I'll build those ships as well. At this point in time, we have to go essentially get our third fleet out. I'm just going to keep them out in space for a little while. Just tell them to move out to here, and that way they'll at least, like, we'll let the systems look after themselves for a little while. Now we're seeing what's actually in this system. There's a fair few ships floating around over through here. Now what we could do is we could actually take out, or we could just set up ourselves somewhere over here and let them come to us. But you can see there's a fair few around here. Maybe we do that. Let's go and grab the. So we're still going to try to milk the attacks away from. Like we don't want to be doing the base and these fleets. Let's just go across now and move to this moon. That's with the first and also with the second. Now I'm going to set both of these to not be the same system but be the same location for the fleets. So that's the second and then the first. Same location. That way they won't wander off. The third is already set that way. We just were just so that they won't go off and drip feed themselves into problems. Now we'll probably have to bounce in and out of here a few times to try to kill as many of these ships as we possibly can. So Dustin's saying colonizable planet in that pirate system. There's a few. We've got a few, but they're not really good enough. Nothing is high enough in through here. So Nerastus 1 is only low level. So not really of any great value to us. Now this is going to open this up again as well. So we may be able to do a little bit of work in through here and then go back to here where we should get another raid coming in. Third fleet will need to go back and fix itself back up once the pirates leave the home system. Mr. K saying, have you stopped streaming elsewhere? No, what I'm doing is I haven't done much on YouTube for a little while, and then I started doing yesterday's stream, and then today I thought, look, I really should try to do a bit more of this particular stream. My plan was to go and do Twitch today, but I will be going back to Twitch tomorrow to play probably this again, but maybe not this actual game. I'll see what goes on. And then I'll be back on YouTube again the day after, and then back to Twitch again, I think, after that. So I just wanted to get a bit of content out while the special is on, because more people over time will watch these live streams than the Twitch live streams. So I thought it was a better public service to try to at least sort of get the information out there about the 60% off the base game. Okay, new exploration ship is now completed. That's okay. Yeah, we still have a pirate presence. third? The third is still getting their shielding is coming up. We'll deal with that soonish. There goes the pirates. Now they're heading off to attack the Alpha system. So they're already now coming back in again to do what they do. We may end up with a situation where we end up being able to attack the base. No, here comes more pirate ships coming in at the same time as us. Okay, we're in here now. This is the first ship that we had. It always just, unless we're actually preparing an attack, it's always the first one in. Here comes a pirate ship coming into their base. Another one. Yeah, we've got a fair few. Now because we've told our ships not to wander off, we should all be just congregating back into here ultimately. We've told them to sort of stay in a tight formation as well, which should actually all be okay. So, yeah, sorry, I'll just read a few more of the comments there. Sorry, I'm missing a fair few comments, but Karen Munch is saying, in Return of the Shakturi, are all the DLC races in the game, but not playable, or not at all? It doesn't matter which DLC you've got, they're all in the game. So, they are technically, all the original races, they're not playable, but they are basically, they can be independent colonies. And so we don't have any independent colonies in this particular game, but you can have all of them, all of the originals. So, you know, the Shandar, the Securans, all of these can actually be, can be in the game. In fact, if you go to the Galactopedia, and look at the alien races, it actually still has all of them. And so even though we don't actually have, for example, the Wekarus, the Shandar, the Securans, the Nexilians, the Kaidans, the Keterovs, there's still a fair bit to add, isn't it? The Artuks. So there's still a lot there that are still actually in here. So they're still part of the game, and these will ultimately, these are essentially just independent colonies. So they can be independent. So they're in the game, just not playable factions yet. They haven't been fleshed out. So yeah, so that is sort of the way it does work. So it's sort of so yeah, they are there, so Alice is saying Shakturi is the endgame crisis, along with what it adds, certain features like alliances, outposts, biowarfare, etc. And yeah, so there is a lot that's, and we're actually playing with the Return of the Shakturi gameplay, like the actual story elements turned off in this one, and that will then allow us to more quickly get to our alliances. So ultimately we're going to be able to form alliances because we're not relying on the story to dictate that one. We can actually get ahead and do that one ourselves. So I don't know if we will be able to do that one, but this is new in the Return of the Shakturi DLC. So there is some little changes in through there as well. Now, are they going to come out to us? What I don't want to do is, I don't want to attack the Eagle's Rest until I'm ready. Let's just wait and see what actually happens here. Yeah, so these are now raiding back in through here. I sort of thought that the pirate ships would actually go after us. Here they come. So we will attack anything inside our location. I'll keep all of my ships very, very close. There should be more of them coming in to now help its friend. Escort, so it's not really going to be of great consequence. Just going to jump away. The hover drive's now offline, that's good. The reason I'm using Epsilon torpedoes is to essentially disable ships before they can and cut through the armor. I'll show you what I mean. Like, we'll do a bit more of a deep dive. This one, yeah, this one's fine where it actually is. Raiding bases. Come on, guys, we're here waiting for you. Not moving, are they? What we might do is bounce in. I don't want to be attacking the base because it's going to bring out a cruiser. Hi, K-Shizzle, how you going? Yeah, we've got... Look, they're still attacking a long way away. Maybe we try it. Let's just see what actually happens in here. So we've got other things happening down this way as well. They're all over the place. Okay, let's just go in and see if we can actually destroy some of these bigger ships in the Neurastus system. So we'll go for the first... Get the first fleet to attack this one. And the second as well. We'll get the second to go this way. It's like they're being built. Yeah, so in the Coma system, which is our home system, is where there's a lot of things going on. So it's always out in front. Now we're seeing lots of fighter craft, but we did actually deck out our ships with some point defense. So it'll be interesting to see. Here come the fighter craft now. And then now the base. We're now inside where the base can actually fire. Point defense. Hopefully we'll take these out. Go back to the first again and go after this guy here. The second is still actually all okay. Now in terms of the small craft, there's still small craft out and about. Like there's one there, for example, an assault bomber, which has taken a little bit of damage but not too much. If we have a quick look at what's happening through here. Yeah, they've still got 6 interceptors. Looks like 3 bombers have been destroyed, but they're still actually floating around. So the small craft will be attacking our fleet, and this could actually cause us some issues. We're going to have to probably go through, and again, if I just press the M key, I can then go through every single ship and just quickly sort of see how the shielding is going. There's only one there that was actually struggling, or 2 actually. There was, if I just get back to it, if I do Shift M, I can go back the other way. So this is the one with the Admiral on board, is taking a little bit of a beating, but nothing too bad. And then we had a few more ships in. This one over through here is also taking a little bit of a fight. That's okay. So we attract this one. The base is actually attacking. This is okay. We'll just let everything sort of develop. Trying to jump. Watch and just make sure we don't actually get any stray bullets hitting the Eagle's Rest. Now that one is got no mission. I'll just go back to the first again. You know, we could possibly take out the Eagle's Rest. They're not fighting back. How are we going? Yeah, they've only got interceptors left. And if we just go and press the M key again, let's just see what sort of damage has been done. Now that is one of our fast escorts has now lost half its shielding. That's actually not too bad. This is the one out in the lead here. Yeah, hardly anything happening there. That's all okay. Yeah, we're actually in a good position here. Oh, this one here is actually now really struggling. Let's just tell it to move all the way to the back. Actually, what I might do is this one should be starting to leave. We're down to about 20% of shielding, so this is actually the trigger to jump. But I think I'm going to tell everyone to attack the. So we'll get the first and the second to attack the base now. So attack Eagle's Rest. The second as well. But I'm going to grab this individual ship and move it back. And we should see a big cruiser come out. There it comes. So the way that what the game does is it adds in like when a base is attacked, a cruiser comes out. Now I feel that they should come out with half shielding. I think any ship that gets built should actually either have full shielding or half shielding. This guy's come out with no shielding. I'm going to grab the second and we're going to attack this thing relentlessly. So we're going to attack the Majestic platform, or Phantom, sorry, the Majestic Phantom. We want to stop it from being able to do anything. So now's our chance to destroy this before it can actually then become an enemy. Should be trying to jump fairly soon. Eagle's Rest is actually coming down, which is great. It's it's trying to build the Majestic Phantom. It's trying to repair that one as much as it can. But we've actually now done damage in through here. One thing I'll show as well is that have we done any damage deeper in? We've only done defensive damage, so nothing much in through there. This one in through here is going to be suffering a lot of damage. Let's just keep it going. Yeah, so that's it's not really a threat anymore, but we'll just keep it going. So we'll just go back to the second. We do actually now have a few ships, patrol escorts, and a frigate. Let's go back to the first. We actually have another patrol escort, which is leaving. Okay, that's now too badly damaged. That one there is an individual ship. I think that's the flagship. Yeah, anyway, I think that one's also leaving the fight, but this is actually okay. I can just leave the others where they are. I can press Control and grab individual ships like this just to again micromanage what's going on. We do want to destroy this before it can do anything. If I can get this down low enough, I can then try to come in and capture it. Had all of its shielding dropped. Oh, there we go. That one's now gone. I'm just going to go and control click these and tell them to attack the Eagle's Rest. This one's trying to jump. Okay, we're down to a small number now with this one here. When we attack this, so we've got rid of the cruiser. We're going to destroy it before much else happens, actually, which means that these various ships will then, some of them will join us, but others will then go off and join other pirate groups. I think we just destroy it. I was thinking of trying to capture, but I've got the invasion fleet sitting here to do the capture, but I don't think we're going to have time really to do it. So let's just rip in and get it. What we've done with our, I might just do a quick summary as to what we've actually got with our ships. So when we look at the frigate, this is sort of like, I guess, these sort of like the base sort of designs. These guys here are just using Thuon beams, which is that white beam that we see. These just do sort of fairly standard damage all the way across the board. The reason I'm using Thuon beams and no torpedoes with these is simply because we ran out of space. We were at the maximum size, and the Thorn beams are slightly smaller than an actual than a missile, than a torpedo. Whereas these guys here, like the escorts, we've decked these out with Epsilon torpedoes, and what these do is once the shields are down, they actually have an armor bypass, which means they go through and do damage to the hull. And that's sort of how we're trying to disable things, is by using these ships. The Thorn beams just do broad damage, essentially. Anyway, this thing's going to be falling very, very soon now. Bang. Just pause that one right there. So we've now destroyed the evil prowlers. So we've been able to do that while their ships are away. So they've been completely destroyed. I've sort of dismissed that one. Foreign ships join us. So after eliminating the evil prowlers, some of their ships have decided to join our empire. We've got 7 ships that have decided to join up. So we'll just go to show me, which sort of show us where we actually currently are. We'll just dismiss that message. So this one in through here is actually now joined the other pirate faction. This has gone to the Red Star Gangsters. Just make sure that they all are. That one's joined us. So this is actually a heavy escort that is joined up with, on our side of the fence. That one is also joined the other pirates. So if we now sort of zoom out, we should see that there'll be all sorts of different ships appearing that we now control. Yeah, it's a pirate ship it's a fleet destroyer. That's actually fairly useful. So we're going to be picking up a fair few of these ships. And what I think I'll do is I'll pop them all in the 3rd fleet. So let's just go across now to the and then we figure out what to do with them from there. So if we go across to our military ships, and we've already got the filter ships not in a fleet basically been selected. So these are all the different pirate ships that we did pick up. So we've got a heap of them back in through here as well, and a couple of destroyers. I'm just going to go and grab all of those and just tell them to go and join the ships to a fleet, and I'll just put them into the 3rd fleet. Okay, that's good, and we've just got the refuelers are the only ones that we're actually not sort of putting into fleets at this stage. So the 3rd fleet now consists of a lot of different ships, some of them out of fuel, those 2 big destroyers. So we'll just get them again just to go back and ultimately the fights that were going on will sort of disappear. We'll just tell them to come back in and refuel or repair, maybe. Just I'll say refuel. They can then just go back home. So there still is, these ships have now switched allegiances to the other pirate faction. If we have a look at the pirate relations, we can see there that the numbers are dropping, and from what we know with their military strength, they're diabolical, but we don't actually know where they are. And so these are going to be a fair distance away from us. It's going to bolster theirs. Let's just say, for example, that they're in here somewhere, and we don't know, but they're possibly in this region because they're in contact with both of these areas. And so in that case, ultimately those ships will get back to their home and will make them stronger, which doesn't really impact us all that much. So that one's also all fairly good there. Hi, did we say hi before to K Shizzle? I thought I did. Where did we get up to? So imagining things that ships used to move more in 3 dimensions in battles. They still do move that way, but yeah, it is on it's predominantly the 2D plane. But yeah, they do actually still fly above and below each other. So yeah, Kurosami's saying they seem to stay on the 2D. I didn't think so actually. I noticed before there was an angle from one of the attacks. In fact, maybe while we've got it paused while we've just done the attack, we may see some of the ships if they're close together. Oh no, not really. No, they're not. I mean, there's slight 3D aspects in there, but nothing much. So these big ships in through here, these fleet destroyers, these don't have any fuel, so these are sort of a bit stuck at the moment. So we'll go back to the first. We'll attack these. The second. try to jump out, I think. We're going to try to go back to the other base. Now they just both jumped. One thing you can do is actually line them up and sort of see where they went in space. So they jumped out in that direction. Let's put them to the top of the line. Out in here. So that looks to be where their base actually is then in that case. In fact, if we go back in and have another look, if I just go Shift Q or Shift E, just go back to the Galactic North, just so we've got it sort of fairly straight. They're moving out that way. What about these guys? They're also moving out that way. So those other pirates live in here somewhere, which is actually bad for us. We're going to need to find them, which means we need to protect the where is it? This one here. I'm going to grab the second and make this the home base for the second fleet. So set home base there, and we're going to now set these up to be defensive. They're going to go back to a defend role. So they'll actually just end up heading back that way. They'll automatically sort of do that one themselves. Actually, yeah, because these are all leaving. We're not going to be able to capture these, I don't think. The first. These are all leaving. Yeah, they've all just left. Now, there's a lot of loot left over here. Oh, there we go. The other two are still... Yeah, they're just finishing off that one. That was good. That was a good outcome for us. Yeah, the bubble shields are a real game changer. Where are the first off to now? Attack Cataclysm of Nerastus. It's a fair distance away. Okay. We've now got... yeah, the Delucci Council encountered. We've encountered a new empire, the Delucci Council, and this is actually other Corminos, which is actually good for us. They would like to they would likely be favourable towards a treaty with some of with us sometime in the future. So so we will actually do this one. The Community of Gradus with some friendliness as a result have initiated a restricted trade agreement. That's great. So we'll dismiss that one, and we now get the alien distractions, unfortunately, which means our research goes backwards for a little while. We don't know where they are, but that was good. Actually, what that will be is potentially we may have a pirate ship further out than what we realise that had been attacking them. I'm not seeing any sort of errant ships off anywhere else. Yeah, we sort of expect to see them in around here somewhere if they were. I think if I grab the third fleet will then sort of show me all the ships that are actually sort of connected to them. Maybe they've just come in and found us, I guess. Yeah, because they're not extended anywhere else. There's another ship bypassing us. Yes, that one's is now moving back out. It's out here somewhere. Their base. Yeah, we haven't really explored a lot of this, so we will need to have that presence on that station there. Anyway, that worked out fairly well. So the inner core is now fairly safe. Third fleet, I'm just going to set that up to also just do the defend role. That way it'll start to look after these different ships. I'll probably start to pull a few of these apart. Just retire one at a time to try to get the tech off them. Accept a gift. Yep, thank you. Now that's... Yeah, no, we're still okay with everything we need. Build ships. Oh, here we go. We've got another colony ship wanting to be built, which means that we must have found another colony somewhere. Yeah, well... So I don't know how we didn't find that one before. Where is it? That one there. An ocean world. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So we're this one here, the colonization suitability for us is 21, which is good. It's only a 56 colonization suitability, but it's fine for us. So we'll build the colony ship and colonize. I'll decline that one, but I think that we will build anyway. Gift from the Delucci Council. That's we've got that one there. Yep, so they're back in through here. So these will be a very close friend. This one's on automatic to already be a close friend. So it's sort of now going to make the game fairly simple for us, because ultimately we're going to be able to trade with these guys. We're going to be able to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It's going to be cheap for us as well. We've got one extra tech that they don't have. Like for the heavy railgun, which we picked up, but eventually they will just be so close with us. I think if we do territory map swapping, if we do galaxy map, that's 15. 15. Let's go and do ours as well. And what else can we do? Yeah, they're going to reject that one. It's the same thing, really. It's not going to really do anything different. Let's just, what do you think of this deal? There we go, makes sense. Now we're up to plus 30, negotiate a deal. We still don't have any tech from them just yet. So let's now, ultimately we're going to be wanting to get another ambassador back out to where they actually are. And where are they? Oh, way over here. Okay, well, that's, you know, they're sort of a fair distance away from us. But it is not bad. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we've got Cashizel saying, does outpost mean we claim the planet without having to make a colony? It's sort of like a low-level colony. It allows us to colonize poor planets. They don't grow. They still cost money. Just double check that we've got that one. Yeah, that one should be... we should be automatically building if we've done that. Let's just go back and have another look and see. It'll be being built on this planet if it is. Yep, Galactic Pearl. These guys are still floating around. The hyperdrive is offline. That's where the third will be. Now we do actually have the capability of capturing these. Let's just go for it. Yeah, we'll go for the capture. Because we've got the old pirate ships. While their hyperdrive is offline, we'll still do damage to it. More ships coming in. close enough yet to put units on. This one doesn't have anything that can do just yet. This one does a little bit. Did it jump? These pirates won't be around for long. Like they'll eventually have to make their way back to their own base. It's gone. Do what we can. Alright, that's good. It's just an explorer there. Alright, so we'll start to get established now. This will then open up all of this for us once we actually take this system. Now that's coming back in for repairs, but it's then going to go out to the station. First actually has to go back in for repairs as well. It's got one ship, but actually probably two ships technically that have actually now taken some damage. So just get all of them fixed up. It's only 31 million at this stage. A bit of extra cash. What would it take to crash this one? Yeah, 64,000 to do the crash, which is what we want. So we'll be able to get the next level of hyperdrive. The colony ship is now completed. So we'll move into this area of space. This may open up other areas for us as well. Yeah, these guys are still floating around. Enhanced storage, that's good. That gives us better fuel. It's interesting that it's still sort of mucking around through here. I'm just going to go back to the third and tell them now just to not bother with same location, which was to protect them, but now same system. I'll do all of the fleets that way. Just give them their ranges. Been raided again. There's still a bit of a thorn until we can find them. Then we'll destroy their base as well. Having those shields on certainly makes life good for us. It looks like these guys have maybe got an outpost in through here. It's deep ocean. Yeah, so this is a -5 for the Quamino. This is actually a poor planet, but they've claimed it as a colony. Yeah, so colonies cost money to support. Just I don't think it's talking at all about the actual, the outpost. I'm pretty sure this is just an outpost in here. Yeah, there's a facility through here, which, yeah, Empire bonuses, they get plus 5% base maintenance savings. So that's why they've built a, even though it's really, really poor quality planet, they've actually still set this one up just to pick up the bonus from the pillar of Trendalu. So that was the reason for that one. These are actual, these ones in through here are actual colonies rather than outposts. So in the coma system, we're still just mucking around with different things. With those pirates. Here we go. So we've got a piece of the puzzle. So a piece of the puzzle has occurred in our colony Alacia in the coma system. Discovery of research bonuses at BO 150 has advanced our progress of enhanced commerce centre. In addition, this exciting discovery has also temporarily boosted our population growth rate. So we're getting these just different sorts of things which actually sort of enhance us. And discovery at BO 150. We've discovered hidden items at BO 150 in the Athenea system. Bonus 7% high-tech research from unusual ore concentrations. Let's go in and have a look and see where this one actually is. So, is that it there? BO 150, yeah, with the high-tech research. So we definitely want to be building a research station here. I'm just going to go and quickly click on it. That's now going to be done. So that's the first thing we need to do. But where is it? So it's sort of on the periphery again, but that's going to be again another good one for us to have control over that one. There was an attack in there. Looks like we've got some Vorticars potentially. No Gravelexes. All right, that's going to be fine. We're going to need to get a defender back out into this sort of region. One of these groups. We've got the second, which is going back out. They're now moving out to the Athenea system, and they will need to stay there because this is where the pirates will be. The third is still back at home, which is fine. Just waiting for a fuel tanker. I'm going to go back to this one here and just going to leave the fleet and then retire at the spaceport. It's because it's still got like Acceleros engines we don't have, Plasma Blaster we don't have, Heavy Armor we don't have, Covidian Shields we don't have. Not that we want the Covidian Shields, but there's a lot of stuff in here that they have that we would like. Even the Jerex Hyperdrive, but we're going to probably get that one before much else happens. So we'll sort of leave that one where that is. There's another one there. Yeah, we want to get as many research stations as we can possibly get. It's important for all factions, but particularly for a high research one like ours. Yeah, so potential research is 112. Actual research is 112 as well, which is good. So we're certainly improving. Critical research breakthrough. Okay, we don't have to spend it now. Yep, has initiated a crash program. This is going to then mean that we're going through this one a lot faster. I was going to pay for that one. Thank you, Shravan Prasad, for the super chat. Saying cheers for all the streams, and also for the great tutorials for dad age gamers like me. There we go. You're more than welcome. Thank you. Saying Shravan is saying hello, dads. First time stream watcher. Have loved your guides for complex games like this and Shadow Empire. Just started your guide for this game a couple of years back. Oh, okay. Look, even yesterday's stream, I think, was something that now is probably my favourite way of playing the game. And that's something that you may like. I'm actually almost thinking I wish I had started off my tutorial series like that, just where to show how to play the game without even playing it at all, which I think is really quite cool. So Eddie Ballgame saying, Daz, where would you rank this in the realm of Space 4X PC games? I'm interested in your expert opinion on this genre. Well, I haven't played much Stellaris for a long period of time, and by all accounts, Stellaris is still the benchmark in terms of the in terms of Space 4X games, certainly from popularity wise. It's hard to tell. I sort of put Stellaris, Gal Civ, and a lot of these other games into a similar category amongst themselves, where they're more like a board game that you're playing, on a computer. Whereas this is much more of a simulation. For me, this is my favourite Space 4X because of the simulation aspect. It's a game where nothing much will happen for an extended period, and all of a sudden, everything will go completely crazy. Whereas the other games have got they manage their pacing better. They're more sort of built with multiplayer in mind, and thankfully, Distant Worlds isn't set for multiplayer, which I'm sort of quite thankful for. It sort of allows you to play it at your own pace. So yeah, for me, Distant Worlds 2 is at the top of the tree, I would think, with all those different games. But yeah, when you look at like Sins of a Solar Empire, great game. Certainly, like there's more polish in these other games, like Sins 2 and Gal Civ and Stellaris are probably a more polished experience in terms of the actual user interface. But I think just from gameplay aspects, I prefer Distant Worlds 2 above the others, just from that simulation side, from just how deep it actually is, with what it does itself. So it's quite unique in that sort of sense, I think. Now, the Delucci Council are offering a non-aggression treaty. I'm going to accept it, even though it's going to impact negatively our. We've got this alien distractions, and this will then give us another one of those. We're going to accept it. So we now have alien distractions. So these are occurring all over the place. Yes, they got it. We got it. It's everyone's got it. So we've now got more distractions happening. Just get rid of all those messages. But this is good. We're starting to now get friendlier and friendlier with this particular group. So they will be a close ally. Not that we can do anything here yet. Not sure where that triggers. Anyway, we'll let things just sort of work its way through. Still got some ships that don't have any fuel. It's just scenery. So Cash is saying our kids are watching alien TV shows now. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I keep on missing a lot of the comments here, guys, so I apologise for this. Curry Muncher said, Daz, what are the large circles on the galaxy map? Okay, so what we end up having, I'll explain how this actually works. When we've got a ship, like let's just go and choose this ship in through here, for example, you'll see like an orange one, and you'll also sometimes see a green one. A green or yellow? I think it might be yellow. Anyway, if we go back to the third and pick this one here, for example, you'll then see this has got like the yellow on the outside with this one on the inside. I'll just see if I can find one that's a bit more interesting. Go back to the second. See, as a fleet, we've got the same sort of things happening in through here. What this is the first one is the jump range. So this is actually dictated from the. If I go and click, and you'll notice it's going to actually jump into here, and then jump forward. From this particular fleet, if I press Shift, click, and then click out to this circle, it's 120 M to that circle. If I go and Shift, click that one back to where it started, it's 104. So it's inside that 120 range. If we have a look at one of these ships and open her up and have a look at the warp bubble generator, you'll see there that the jump range is 120 M. So the second one down in the line. And so it means that they can't jump in one big jump straight out there. So that's actually the jump range, the orange. And so it will actually have to jump to any other body, it doesn't matter where it is, and then jump from there. And what this one does, by doing this in the game, it sort of means that you've got some sort of problems as well, where you end up with needing to, like, you can sort of try to trap things with other fleets as they come into their jump locations, particularly in the outer reaches where there's not really a lot of systems. But anyway, that's the jump range there, and then from there it'll then be able to do its full jump. So if I press Shift again, click on that system, that is 116. So it can do that in 2 jumps. So that's the first one. If we go back and have another look, this is the fuel range. So this is the fuel range of the fleet. So it's the fuel range of the ship with the lowest amount of fuel on it, or the least amount of actual range on it. So if we go to the first, they've also got a similar one. The second we saw there before. The third doesn't have one, and the reason for that is these ships here don't have any fuel on them. So these are actually moving into refuel. So they're out of fuel. So these ones don't actually have any capability for doing anything with that. So that's sort of what they do. That's just what those circles actually are. But yeah, the orange one is jump range. Then when we get this, we'll end up with a jump range of 140 M and then a speed of 400. So yeah, it'll mean that we can sort of move around the galaxy a little bit faster and a little bit further. Oh, it's very interesting. Sorry, I should have been more specific. The lighter, solid, coloured circles. Okay, they're nebulas. These ones in here. Sorry. Okay, so what these are is there's nebulas inside here. You can turn them off, and you can sort of see that there's like a cloud there. But the nebulas are dangerous. So essentially, I just keep them turned on. Eventually, we'll be able to explore inside them and figure out what type of nebulas they actually are. And when we hover over this, you can see there that if it's orange, it'll be a galactic storm, purple will be an ion storm, green will be a gravitic storm, and yellow will be a radiation zone. So they'll have different colours ultimately once we can explore them, but we can't get inside them just yet. So they're on their own. Some of them will correspond to an actual planet, and sometimes they'll have planets inside them, like that one there is inside the storm, inside the nebula. There'll be little ones as well, and these will ultimately probably be like special locations with hive ships. We won't be able to see anything in there, but there'll be something in there that'll be fairly dangerous. There's another one down there as well. So these are just small nebulas. That's actually what they are. And then eventually also, once we get long-range scanners, there'll also be like other circles that will then appear with those as well. Gorox is saying, playing a refugee fleet start with the Gizarians. I started to invade one Boscara planet, then colonize another, having a problem with my empire. Won't start collecting resources, only one mining ship. Any tips? You just, well, take it slowly. This is the big thing, I think, with those sorts of starts. Here we go. They want to accept a trade deal. Galaxy map. Oh yeah, let's just go and accept. I want to be as friendly with them as possible, even if it doesn't really suit us. Yeah, so Curry Munch is saying, would it be nice to have a coloured palette changer for ships, especially when you take over pirate and enemy ships? Yes. It's sort of one of the things when they first were designing the game. That's one thing I didn't understand. Why didn't they do something with the modelling of the ships to be able to have some aspect of the ship that is the colour of the faction you're playing, just to give it. And every other game does it, like all the other games do it. Here, we better just have a look at what's happening through here. But they don't do it in Distant Worlds. It's just the model is the model. You know, like it's sort of funny. This is like an orange. For me, it would be much better if this glass area was set to be like this sort of purpley blue colour of ours, and that way you'd see it immediately. I agree 100% with you, but they won't change it now, of course. They've gone too far down that track, but most other games actually have a way of that operating that way, and it would, yeah, I agree with you, it would have been great. And I did before the game launched, way back, I did actually put that down as something that I thought needed to be done, but it was too hard. Okay, disharmony has occurred at Paramello 4 at Colony. So what's happened in here? Recent outbreak of war. Okay, so they're at war. That's interesting. So they've gone. They're at war. Feudal obligation has occurred at Gisero. This is the Daots. Okay, that looks like that's actually now the Daots are at war with the Ikaru. That would make sense. Yeah, and so here we go. The Pionist autocracy has declared war on the Ikaru Tranquility Haven. So this is now the first galactic war that we've seen. Trade deal with the Delucci Council. We did that one just before. That's all okay. And so in this case, they're now at war. And this group in here we do want to be friendly with. It's been a bit tricky. Actually, they're pleased with us 11. These are 34. The Delucci Council we're going to definitely be extremely close to. In fact, what I might do is I might change the Delucci Council and go to close ally as what we actually want to be achieving there. If we speak to them again, we can't offer anything else just yet. We need to go a little bit higher up. Just going to never mind and negotiate a deal. Yeah, there's nothing. They're not offering us any techs yet. But eventually, hopefully, we can be researching things while they research other things. So that would be a good combination for us to have that one. Yeah, so we've got Curry much saying too hard. Maybe the modders will sort that one out. But from what I've heard, they've made the modding so much harder than it was in Distant Worlds 1. That's because it's 3D. It's the 3D aspect. It would have to be set up beyond what the modders have got access to. You can mod the ships, but you can't mod colours into them, I don't think. Because I thought that would have been pretty cool. It is much harder to mod this game than what the other one was. Here we go. This station is now under attack. So we actually now have... we've got small craft coming in. Don't have much here. Now this is why we had to get the second back in here. Now they're moving out here. How far off are they? A long way. Not going to get there in time. What we don't want to have happen is we don't want our scientists to be captured. What have we got in here? Shields, weapons, industrial research, and all research here. Someone that we don't want to be losing. If we do lose him, we're going to have to find these guys. So we'll watch what happens here with a bit of interest. When the shields drop is when they're going to send their marines across. We are doing some damage. Shields are almost down. Here they are, they're down now. And they still haven't sent anyone across just yet. Eventually come across. Every time our shields come up, they do another attack. They're just trying to sort of keep us where they are until they can get Marines on board. Just waiting for this to fire up. I kind of wish we could see what the actual cooldown was of these. Karen was just saying, sorry for so many questions. Have they gotten rid of defence bases? No, they're still there. We don't have access to them yet, though. Maybe by holding off like this, they're still waiting to get their boarding party back in. Their shields are already down to half. It's now jumping away. The seconds are still a long way off. The game's frozen there for a second. Whoops, it crashed. It crashed. I haven't had that happen. Let me restart that. That's unusual. I haven't seen a crash like that for a long, long period of time with this game. Just going to grab myself a drink of water while this loads up. Alright, so we'll just go back to continue. Yeah, Radigar saying I haven't had a crash with Distant Worlds 2 for quite some time, beta aside. Yeah, and this is not, well, I'm just playing the basic game, so we'll just go back to the continue the autosave from however long ago that was. But yeah, no, it's very, very unusual. So Curry Munch is then sort of saying that we caught a few minutes of yesterday's stream, seeing how you started off, and it was nice seeing Larry in chat. Yeah, no, it's cool actually. So I think Larry said he was going to be doing some content soonish here, so we're back in here again. Let's just let this thing develop. Not sure what it was that caused the issue there. That one is jumping away. Actually, it's jumping away at a different time. Let's just zoom back out. Everything's working. Seconds should still be now working on their way through. They're coming in now. Now it jumped that way, which is interesting. Why would it jump that in that direction? Their base has to be in here somewhere. Like, we haven't explored this yet. What we might do is I might build a heap of explorer ships and just sort of let them do their own thing for a little while. So if we go to construction and purchase, let's get 6 of them. And I might even grab another couple of construction ships. That will do. Hi Nedland, how you going? He's saying hi, Distant World reaches. There we are. Radica saying the only trouble it gives me is late game. I have to restart the game periodically to fix the performance. Even that, although even that is improved. Yeah, with this patch. Yeah, it's good. Hi ZXM, how you going? So we're just waiting for this second fleet to make its way across. It's just slowly moving. It's funny because it will have to go back and retrofit fairly soon anyway. We're at 78% now with the hyperdrive. Offer the gift. I don't think I need to know about those anymore. I'm just going to go back to the filters. I've sort of got all messages on at this stage. So these are new state ship constructed, new civilian base constructed. Let's turn that off. New military ship. Turn that off as well. New military ship constructed in through there. New base. I wish we could save these. I'll leave the military ships and the state bases done as well. I'll leave those on. Again, just want to keep on just seeing how friendly we can get with them. It's a mining ship, I think. I know, a station. Icarus. So we did start a fair distance away from the other races, actually, which is interesting. And Nedlands is saying, simple question, your thoughts about this DLC? I think it's great. And I say that as somebody who was sort of very fearful for what this was going to bring. And because I don't play late game games, I tend to only play up to the mid game and then sort of call it quits. And to have a DLC that seems to be about the end game with the Shakturi was something I wasn't really that interested in. But they've added so much extra things into it. It really does. For me, it's fantastic. I accept that treaty as well. You get these alien distractions. So yeah, I think it's fantastic what they've done. We've now got the new colony, so that's great. So we now start to extend into this area as well. Now I think they've done a great job of this. So it's sort of just all the extra little bits and pieces, the outposts, the refugee start. So you've got something right from the very start of the game as well. They've just added a lot to it, and so I think it's an awesome DLC actually. As I said before, when I first heard that this was coming, I thought it was too early. I would have preferred the pirate DLC, but I'm happy with what they've introduced. It's actually been really quite cool. And because I really was only expecting the Shakturi storyline to be what was going to be included, and that's really a minor part of it. Like we've got all these different other ships that come in with it as well for each faction. We've actually turned off in this game here. We've actually turned off the Shakturi storyline, but we're still going to have access to all of the fun bits to do with it. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a great DLC. But I should preface that and say that Distant Worlds has always been one of my favourite games, and so I know I'm a fanboy, and so I will actually put that out there as well. Yeah, I do love this game, but I'm happily impressed with the DLC. I think it's great. Tenor is saying, I wish we could force automated explorers to stay inside our domain. I hate it when they cross the other side of the galaxy surveying stuff that I won't even have access to for God knows how long. You sort of can. You can tell them what type of explorer ship you want them to be. So they will essentially then just follow your instructions, like they can be spy ships or whatever you need them to do. Shiravan is saying, is it possible for there to be multiple major and minor factions in the galaxy of the same species types? Can you go to war against a faction of your same species? Yes, you can. And Radigar saying yes to both of those. You can set the game up. Actually, what I might do is I'll save where we are. I'll show you what I mean. If we save this one here, and if we exit to the main menu, so you can set the game up to be whatever you want. This is actually one of the great things about this game. And look, Stellaris does it as well, like with the way you can set certain things up. But this one's, it sort of just feels more random, the way it sort of does work. It tries not to balance things too much. If we start a new game in through here, I'll just keep these settings. I won't talk much about what these actually are. But if we go to the different areas and through this other side, what we can do is we can set up like an overall galaxy settings, like just how expansive the actual galaxy is. Let's not worry about this because we can do this again later on. And so to set things up, I can go to if I just go back into your race, we're playing as a Quamino. Let's just choose the Quamino again. So we'll just go into that one through there and just keep on sort of skipping past. This will be our home system. I'll leave that one where that is. In through here, what you can do is you can actually turn off the auto-generated empires if you like, and then do starting empires. In fact, you can leave that on as well, and still just add new empires in. So you could actually go and say, okay, look, I want to have another Quamino group that is going to end up being one tech level ahead of me. It's going to be an expanding empire, which means it's going to have maybe sort of like about 7 different colonies. Proximity will be average distance away from me. The government will be Geniocracy again, or Way of Darkness. Let's make it an evil group of Quaminos. The home system will be normal. Then the relation is that they don't like us and they're at war, and we've sort of, we've actually run away, we're trying to escape from them or something like this. They could, instead of expanding, they could be an old empire, like an ancient old empire, I'll keep them at level 2 at this stage, but with Way of Darkness, which means that they're going to be controlling a heap of the galaxy. And so if we end up, with, even just with that one there, we're going to end up with a very major threat right from the very, very start of the game. I mean, we could have like another group, another Camino group in there as well, if we wanted to. That's going to be same as us. They're going to be starting as well, so just one planet. Proximity will be nearby, and the government will be Geniocracy, same as us. Home system normal, and they can be defensive pact. So let's actually have them working together. So we're working with them. And that's it, basically. And I've got Return of the Shakturi turned off. But if I start that game, we may not sort of see them, but we know that there'll be this massive evil empire of our same faction that we're at war with. It's actually very, very cool. Just with these sort of setups, some of the load times can be a little bit long. Yeah, Dom's saying game is on sale at the moment. Best discounts I've seen. Yes. It is 60% off the base game. Now is the time to get it. I've never seen any Distant Worlds game this cheap ever. Distant Worlds 1 hardly ever went on special. And now we've got the 60% off is unheard of for Distant Worlds 2. It's incredible actually, and also the DLCs as well. They're all basically they're all cheap at the moment. It's now is the time. If you even half thought you might want to play the game at some point, now's the time to jump in, I think. Yeah, Shravan is saying nice. So you can or should eventually have your empire made up of Xenos. I'm not sure what that was in relation to. Yeah, you can sort of like you can tweak it any which way you like. Also, the actual planets themselves, you can actually sort of do it on a planet by planet basis and end up with like prison planets or whatever else you wanted to do as well, just with your policies that you establish. If you invade a planet and you want to not have them move around in your empire, you can actually just have them enslaved on that particular planet, which then causes other things. It's taking a long time to load in. I'm not sure why. But no, there's a hell of a lot. Korosami saying, love the artwork. Yes, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so Sharon is saying, I picked up the game with all the DLC, including this new one for like $50 US this morning. Yeah, it's an incredible value at the moment. Now, like as I said, that's why I'm doing so many streams almost back to back now. I'm just streaming as much as I can because of the special, as much as anything, just because it's so good, such good value, and so rare to see it. Okay, so Curry Munch is saying Universe had a hefty one, but that was just as Distant Worlds 2 came out. But tends to be a 50% maximum. Yeah, I can't remember what the release one was for Distant Worlds 1 when Distant Worlds 2 did come out. For me, it was sort of like, in one sense, you want them buying Distant Worlds 2, not Distant Worlds 1. So anyway, it's cool. So Tenra is saying, I'm not a fan of the Distant Worlds 2 DLC creep. The game is definitely going the Paradox route, in my opinion. The new DLC content may be nice, but I don't see it being worth $20, similar to good indie titles. I know what you mean, and it's sort of one of those things where I was also thinking we got all those factions for free in Distant Worlds 1, and now we have to pay for them, like in Distant Worlds 2. But there's so much more involved in it, and what the way that Eric Rutens actually had described that once was that in Distant Worlds 1, you could build a faction in a few hours, like you could actually build everything you needed to with a faction, have a playable faction in just in less than a day. For Distant Worlds 2, it's actually multiple developers working on a faction for over a month to do it. So they just couldn't bring all the factions in. They would have liked to, but they just couldn't. And so that's why the DLC, the creep is there, not because of wanting to follow a Paradox model. The game's not popular enough for it to actually be able to make use of that model effectively, I don't think. But they're trying to do it so that they can still bring those factions in and pay for it as it goes. It's more about how do we pay for the factions as they come in, because they couldn't afford to to put the development time in for each of those factions before at the start. They just couldn't do it. It was a financial decision. Is the way it was described, and that makes sense. I did think there would be a lot more resistance, to be honest, about the lack of the factions. So I sort of was hoping that they would be able to do something to make them a bit better. One thing I don't like with the factions, God, this is taking forever. I don't know why. It might be that old empire is sort of is trying to flesh out that old empire, I think, that we had just set up. But it is one of these games where it's a very different game than it was in Distant Worlds 1. In Distant Worlds 1, you could very easily mod things, and I sort of wish that they had have made the factions easier to mod than what they ended up with. Like, they made some decisions at the early part of the game, which I thought, that's a strange decision. One of them is to have the characters animated, which means it's a barrier for modders to get in and do it. I don't know what's happening here. This is I don't think it's. I think it's still generating that ancient threat that we've just sort of put into the game. So my two cents y'all is saying, oh my god, it's on a sale at a good price. Yes, it's a one-off thing really. Now's the time to grab it. It really is. John UK is saying, I don't see them as like Paradox. This is an indie game aimed at, it's still an indie game, very much so. I mean, you've got a handful of developers working on this game. So it's unfortunately that's expensive. It's never a big money maker. That's exactly right. It's a very niche game. I might crash my game out actually, because this one will eventually form a galaxy with one enemy force that is sort of all encompassing. So that one is but it's not building it. I'll just unfortunately. You might two cents are saying Star Trek mod Distant Worlds 1. That was great. Yeah, that was a great mod. Yeah, the Star Trek mod was the best. Is in my two cents. Yeah, it was really really quite cool. That was very very good. I'm just going to go and quit. Oh, here we go. Just as I was going to do it. So we do get started. We get started in through here. Oh. And that's the end of the game for this particular one we just generated. So what's happened here is we set this one up to be too powerful, and we set up our victory conditions so that the victory threshold was crossed straight away by the evil empire. So that's a funny one. So that's the fastest game of Distant Worlds 2 I've ever played. So anyway, it's come in, the two that we actually were back in through here, and then we have the that we know of, and there'll be other factions in there as well, but this one here just ended up dominating the whole lot. So yeah, you need to disable the victory conditions to play that way. But anyway, you get the idea. You can set up whatever you want in this sort of case. So this one here, the economy is massive, so you've got complete control over how things are set up in the actual game itself. We probably won't see that other faction because we're not exploring in this one. I'm not sure where the others are. That's the other one. That's the ally for us, and we don't know where the big empire actually is. One thing we could do is to cheat and go into the well, it's not really a cheat, but we can go into the game menu and just go into edit, the game editor, and then have a bit of a look around. This looks to be their main faction, back and through this other side. So that's the that'll be the big ancient empire. If we go and which one is it? These are all the different empires that are in here, including all the pirate factions. Camino Confederacy. Yeah, this is now, if we're playing as these guys, this is the ancient empire. So we can actually now just switch in and actually start playing as them. So we actually now are, this is like we've got a lot more control over what's going on. We've actually explored the galaxy, so we can see everything actually in the galaxy playing as this particular empire. This is sort of like an old ancient empire. So yeah, we can sort of switch around using the game editor, but it's pretty cool what you can then go and do. It took longer to play than to took longer to generate than to play. Anyway, let's go back to our game. Just go back out to the main menu. But yeah, the reason it was taking so long was to set that empire up. That was what was happening through there. Continue our save game. Just make more sedate. Yeah, so Shakturi is saying, "Oh my God, I haven't seen a 4x." So they built in editors in Civ 4. It can be quite important. Like for example, if we don't like the word coma, I can't change that system name. I can change the planet that we're on. Like I can change certain things that I control, but like coma 8, I can't click on it and edit it, but I can in the editor if I wanted to. So sometimes if you are wanting if you're wanting to sort of chop and change names, if you've got like a name that's a bit confusing or something, then that can be a way of doing that. It's just to use the editor. It does show a lot of what's around you as well. So it of course is a massive sheet. If we wanted to find out, for example, what was here, let me know in the chat if you want me to show you this, because I mean, I can almost 100% say that there's going to be a hive ship there, just based on the patterning. So let's have a look at this one through here. They've got another ship coming in. Is the second close by yet? No, still miles away. Yeah, we really have to protect this. Yeah, we need to get these the second in through here. But like you can start to sort of see things like, well, let's go to somewhere that's a little bit further away. If we find a small nebula, and they'll be all over the place, we can at least, you can sort of keep it zoomed in, and that way you're not seeing everything. And you can tend not to sort of look. Actually, I'll just try to find something. Is that close to us? Like this will probably be a hive ship location. So if I go in and I'll just pause it and then just go across the game menu, and actually I might not do this. Actually, no, I will do it. Yeah, so you got hive ambush, hive encounter, and so there's actually a hive ship already there. So there'll be a hive ship sitting inside here, waiting to be encountered. This is a hive destroyer, and so this is actually where you can go and do this one. I'll just put out of the game editor though. So that's sort of where, certain things, actually that is pretty close to our territory. So we've got a fair few of these little hive encounters around the place. I'm pretty sure that's what they'll all be. But there's you can see there'll be a lot of things, like all of the everything that's hidden away, it becomes exposed when you do look at that. So we have to just hold on here for one more. Oh no, they've gone again. Just got our scientists on board. We're saying, why is research speed tied to pop size? That makes it kind of impossible to out-tech certain AI factions since they spread like a plague. It's not to pop size, it's to your research maximum potential and then actual research output, which comes down to the research facilities more than anything. So you can see there that we actually have our research facilities. We're getting 40 from the 2 research facilities that we do have, and only 19 from the actual spaceport. So the spaceports will provide some. So population, yeah, when you build a spaceport, you do get a boost to your population. Sorry, to your research, but you get a lot more from the research facilities. This is why they're so important. So Garrett Rose is saying, could you set up a game where a bunch of smaller empires were allied against a huge empire in the middle? You can't do that from the setup of the game, but you can go into it and then dictate what's going to happen in the editor. So you can actually then set them all up in the actual game setup and then go in and change the relationships that way. I think you can do it that way. I don't use the editor that often. Like it's I mainly just use it for renaming. But it's yeah, there's a lot you can do with your setups in here. So we seem to be okay again here. It looks like they actually left before anything really happened. One thing we also need to do is we need to find more fuel locations. Now we're nearly at the hyperdrive technology is almost done. And okay, we found another group. These are Quiminos, actually. Now this is actually, it's not catastrophically bad. That's actually okay. I think I'll just get rid of any pirate we come across. We won't actually follow along with. Burning Gang. Yeah, they're not that strong. Okay, we now have hyperdrive technology. We now have to go back to all of our ships and redesign them. So if we go back in to ship designs, I'm going to go to. I'm only going to really worry about the state ships. So we just got a small number. I'm going to sort by role. We've got manual set anyway through here. These are the different numbers that we have. If you just go to the frigates, and if I go, this one's going to be the hard one to do. If I go and do an upgrade, we're going to now be oversized because of the new hyperdrive. So we now need to make sense of how we make use of this, and it's a hard one actually. It's only 3. I don't want to get rid of the bubble shields, and I don't want to get rid of any of this stuff either. You know what I could do is I could tweak this. If we got rid of a Thuon beam, actually I'll just set this so that we're filtering by the latest per category and family, and then sorting by bay type, category, family, and size. That way we can sort of have everything sort of where it needs to be. We still need to have a point defense. We've got a point defense cannon in here, which is size 13. We have an iron cannon at size 12. These are size 14. That gets me down to 2. If I throw that into there, we're now just 1 ton over. The other things we definitely need. I could put 2 iron cannons in. Oh, hang on, we want to keep the Thuon beam, the medium Thuon beam where it was. In the large mount. But the iron cannon, we could actually just place that in the other side. So we end up with 2 iron cannons on either side. That I think would be okay. That takes us under the limits. So let's go and this will be a frigate version 2. Let's just save and exit that one. That's okay. Then we've got the next one that we've got is a defensive heavy escort. So we'll do it. Just click on upgrade. This one we did have a bit of extra space, so we should be okay. Thuon beam, 2 Thuon beams in through there. With the other one, I might just keep that where that actually is. That's all okay. Save and exit, and then we've got the fast escort. Do an upgrade, and again we've got space in here, so we've got enough 2 Epsilon torpedoes back and through this other side as well. So this is more like a torpedo escort, which is fine. And we've now got the Jerex hyperdrive, so we'll save and exit that one as well. And so they'll now just do all the retrofits. That's all we needed to do there. The second will be wanting to go off and retrofit as well. I think we need to maybe manually control the second for a little while, but we'll see how we go. Actually, the spaceport does have a bit of a lineup. It's freighters and things, which is actually fine. So that's actually all okay. Let's have a look at our colonies. Yeah, once they get to about 100 is when I want to start putting starports up. Okay, so Karamanch is saying, this is the part of the game that confuses me, as there are so many ships, I'm never sure which ones that you need to stop building and which ones to upgrade. I just let the game do that for me. Essentially, if I keep the fleet, like I've got the ships in a fleet in through here. This is the second fleet. Actually, I might just I'll explain exactly, because this is something that makes the game so much easier to play if you understand how this bit works. So with this fleet coming in, I'll just pause for a second, just so I'm not always looking for what's actually happening. But if we manage things through fleets and we use the fleet template system, it makes everything so much easier to actually figure out what to do. And so when you go back, and you don't have to be building your own ships, you don't even have to be doing your own fleet management if you don't want to, but I find it really, really useful. So the ship designs themselves, one thing when you go into ship designs, I always make sure what I've got set to manual, which means that the AI won't override it. So that's one thing I always look for, just making sure of what I'm actually controlling. Like, I'm not controlling the troop transports, I'm just letting them just do their own design. But in our case, we're manually controlling these. Retrofitting is also like, will it automatically, if it's got the option to retrofit, will it go and retrofit to this new design? And so I just tend to keep that always on automatic, unless I really don't want something to upgrade. If I just don't want it to upgrade, I will then control it. And that may be that you have something sort of like special that you've built that you just don't want to be changing at all. And so in that case, that's sort of how you can manually control those that way. You can also, when you come in and actually start to build your fleets, back and through this other side, you've got the fleet templates. And this is where I try to control most of my fleets using these. And what this one does is, like, we're making use of the defense fleets as an example. We've got 3 of these fleets at the moment. If we go and edit that one, I've told it to build 3 of the frigate escort, sorry, 3 frigates, and then I've got 3 patrol escorts, which are my fast escorts, and 3 of the heavy escorts, which are my defensive escorts. And so they correspond back to the 3 that we had built. The frigate there, the frigate version 2 will now be the one that sort of is going to be in there, because the hull type is frigate. But the other 2 hull types for heavy escort and patrol escort. And so with upgrading those, that's what the fleets now want to make use of. Because, again, if we just have a quick look and see what they've got in there. Defensive fleet, and edit. And so they're use the latest design for the hull patrol escort. And I can chop and change this to all sorts of different things. I can be very specific about what type of ship I want to have in there. So you can really manufacture a fleet to really suit your purposes. And so in this case, that's what we're going with that one. So that's what comprises the actual defensive fleets. And then you've got things like the default tactical settings. This is sort of, you can override these, but this is essentially what we've got for the defensive fleets, is to be in the same system and then to do different things. But it's mainly the fleet engagement range. But then once that's actually been done, if I go back to the second, which we've got through here, you can see there that the fleet role is set to defend, which is actually giving it it's going to tell it what to sort of do if we leave it fully automated, like what it will target, what numbers it will sort of go after, and things like this. So we've got things like we've got attack, raid, defend, essentially different ways of doing things. Raiding can be really useful to have smaller fleets all over the place. The AI does this very, very well, but you can just do it through automation. Just have actual raiding fleets set up and just have them near the borders, and they'll just go off and kill off mining stations and stuff like that for you. You don't have to really worry about it. But then the other part of this, sorry, I'll just go back to that one, is the actual template when we're using the defense fleet template. Now I can have a defense fleet template with a raid mission. So that's now got the fleet role is now raid, but the template is still defense. So I can chop and change these. When they're automated, it will then dictate what it does around whatever settings we've got. Now we've got the same system, which is what that blue line is. Anything inside there, it will act on. If we can extend that one out by going into the tactics, and if we change it to say 50M range, it will now look after these systems in around here as well. So they will become part of what it will then look at. 100M, and so we can start to see what the fleet will actually look at. If we change it to a raiding fleet, the color will change. I think to yellow in this case, oh no, to purple. And so that way we can just very quickly look at the fleets and see, okay, we've got raiding fleets that are going to look after this area of space, or we've got defense fleets that are going to be looking after that area of space. In this case though, we just want to go back to the same system or even same location. So we're just looking after this one location. So that's actually how that one's been set up. And these have all been done that way. The third fleet has been set up as a manual fleet at this stage. I can set that one back up as a defensive fleet if I wanted to. They've now refueled, so they've got all their fuel on board. There's still a defense fleet template. And we've now got too many ships in this one. It does now want to retrofit as well. But if I just set that to be a defensive fleet, it will end up just retrofitting itself anyway. So I don't have to worry about that one. And if I go back to the first fleet as well, it also is looking to retrofit. And I will just set that one to defend as well. So we're just by putting them into this automatic mode, they would look after themselves to a large degree. So here we are. So Garrett Rose is saying, I remember there being a scenario in the first game where there was a huge empire in the middle and a bunch of small ones on the outer ring. Yeah, you can sort of set up whatever you like. It's really, really quite cool. I remember just saying, yeah, there's a part that confused me. We did that one before. So by having them set to not be manual, they'll just go off and retrofit now. In fact, what we'll find is the second will come into here, stay there for a short amount of time, and then we'll start to see them coming back to retrofit back at the spaceport. So we'll just watch and see what happens here. So that's what they'll do, and I may have to stop them because I do want to destroy some more pirate ships before they go and do that. Because we've got nowhere else around here to actually do the upgrades. Yeah, so Kurosami's saying the automation comes in so handy in the late game. It's great all the time anyway, actually, just to actually have that set up. Base rated. Yep, so this is under attack again by another ship. We're getting close now, so hopefully we can destroy some of these destroyers. So they're travelling slowly because they've got some fuel, but they actually have they've just got the old hyperdrive on it. Yep. So that's actually now these guys have all just finished their retrofit. You can see that's Fast Escort version 2s. So they've now all upgraded automatically. The third as well is going back in for repairs. These have got a lot of the old pirate ships. So we've come in. We've got a couple of other locations now. I thought we'd already set that one up. Oh, we've already got ships here building. We do have them building at this stage. Yep, so we've got two more locations where we can have these bases set up. Yeah, these distractions are going to be a bit annoying, but I think it's important to have them on side and friendly. There they go. Oh, we're going to go off and retrofit because they're on auto. So they're under their own control. So that what they'll do is they'll go back to the spaceport. They will then go and retrofit, and then they'll come back again. And I'm happy enough for them to do it. I would have preferred them to have stayed and destroyed another one. They've made peace. That was a pretty short war. It's getting better and better with these guys, which is great. Now guys, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to have to actually wind this session up. We at least got rid of one pirate, I guess, in this particular session. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch tomorrow, I think, and then I'll be back the day after to do the Chat Tactics stream. A lot of good games coming up, so yeah, there's a lot going on. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next. I'll probably play one more live stream. I think maybe at the end of the week, or maybe on the next weekend or something. But I think I've put out enough in terms of just letting people know that the special is on, and that you've now is the time to grab this game if you are wanting to get it at the reduced price. Thanks guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.